The movie kicks off with Benny, who takes us back to the fateful day the apocalypse began. He recalls going on a pig hunt with his brothers, Mulla and Tony. That night, around the campfire, Benny noticed a stunning meteor shower lighting up the sky, something that sent a chill down his spine. The next morning, Benny wakes up to a nightmare. His brothers are gone. Searching for them, he finds Mulla's lifeless body and Tony lurking in the bushes. But as Tony turns around, Benny realizes with horror that it's not his brother anymore. A terrifying chase ensues, with Tony relentlessly following Benny for hours. Desperate, Benny hacks off Tony's leg, but he can't bring himself to kill his brother. It's a choice he will regret for the rest of his life. The scene shifts to Barry, a mechanic who has it all, a loving wife, Annie, and a daughter, Megan. The family shares a peaceful dinner. It's a wholesome moment as they laugh together at the table. And later, Barry dozes off next to Annie, unaware that his world is about to be torn apart. Then, we meet Barry's sister, Brooke, preparing for a photo shoot with her friends, Sherry and Charlie. But the fun quickly turns to horror when Charlie suddenly starts coughing up blood. Before anyone can react, she transforms into a bloodthirsty zombie and attacks. Brooke barely escapes to the ceiling, but the terror doesn't stop there. Sherry becomes the next victim when the zombified Charlie rips her throat out. Panicked, Brooke finds a hook to trap Charlie, but as she comes down, she's ambushed by Sherry, now a zombie herself. In a heart-stopping moment, Brooke fights back and kills her former friend. But her escape is blocked when she finds another zombie at the door. Brooke calls her brother Barry, desperate to warn him. She tells him to get his family out of the city before it's too late. But just as Barry starts to comprehend the nightmare unfolding, Annie interrupts, her voice trembling as she says, "There's a man in the kitchen." Barry spots a zombie devouring raw meat. He tries to stop it, but the creature lunges at him. Annie, in a panic, steps in to defend him, stabbing the zombie first with a knife and then with an axe. But it's not enough. Barry takes control, finally putting the zombie down. He quickly masks up and urges Annie and Megan to sprint to the car. As they make their way, Barry fights off more zombies to protect his family, eventually managing to climb into the driver's seat. Once inside, he tells Megan to get to the back seat and close her eyes as he drives through the horde, crushing zombies in his path. The next morning, Brooke jolts awake to find Charlie yelling right in her face. Just then, two soldiers arrive, taking Charlie down and turning their attention to Brooke. They pull her from her place, tie her up, and take a blood sample, confirming she isn't infected. When they try to knock her out with chloroform, Brooke smashes the bottle, forcing them to take her by force. Meanwhile, Barry and Annie are frantic when they realize Megan isn't breathing. But as they get closer, Megan tries to attack them. She's been infected. Annie, also feeling the effects, hides her symptoms from Barry. As they drive onward, Annie finally admits she's changing. Heartbroken, Barry shares a final kiss and hug with her. But soon enough, Annie transforms and lunges at him. He begs her to stay back but realizes he has no choice and ends her suffering. Then he turns to Megan, filled with sorrow, and does the same to free her from her misery. At the same time, Brooke regains consciousness in a lab, terrified to find herself surrounded by zombies and human test subjects. A creepy surgeon enters, shining a light to confirm she isn't infected. He plays some music, dances around, and then drains blood from a zombie, injecting it straight into Brooke's spine without hesitation. Back on the road, Barry, having lost all hope, is suddenly approached by another survivor, Jack. As Barry and Jack argue, they're interrupted by zombie screams. In despair, Barry grabs Jack's gun, ready to end it all, but Jack stops him, sparking a fight that only ends when zombies close in. They take down the undead together, but Barry still tries to grab the gun. Jack knocks him out cold. When Barry wakes up, he's in Jack's car. Determined, he forces Jack to stop, but Jack manages to calm him down. Barry explains he needs to reach Billa Billa, and Jack agrees to give him a lift. On the road, they spot zombies blocking the way, and Barry tells Jack to plow right through. But just ahead, the truck stalls, and Barry tries to fix it without luck. Suddenly, gunshots echo from nearby, and they head into the woods to investigate. Jack leads with his gun, but is instantly shot, his head blown apart by Benny, who mistook him for a zombie. As more zombies approach, Benny, realizing Barry can handle guns, hands him his double-barrel shotgun and asks him to lead the way. Meanwhile, back in the lab, the twisted surgeon toys with zombies to panic them, then turns to Brooke. Just as he questions why she's awake, another test subject's neck alarm goes off. Calmly, he uses a device to extract a reddish serum from the subject's nose. But soon, Brooke's alarm starts blaring, drawing the surgeon's attention. He messes up with Brooke and laughs, telling her she is meant for another top-up. He prepares another dose of zombie blood, and as Brooke resists, he warns, taunting her that it could lead to seizures, or worse. Meanwhile, Benny and Barry arrive at a workshop and find Kel battling zombies. Benny quickly asks Kel if they can join forces, and Kel agrees. Kel and his buddy, Frank, open the door as Benny and Barry fight their way through. Once inside, a zombie lunges at Barry, but Kel blasts its head off. Barry suggests escaping in Frank's Hilux, but Frank explains that nothing is flammable anymore, not petrol, not metho, not kerosene. That's why all vehicles stalled on the roads. Kel and Frank introduce Barry and Benny to Neville, a zombie they've locked in a fridge. Then Kel flicks a match at some zombie blood, and it flares up. Realizing zombie blood is flammable, Barry gets an idea. He shows Kel and Frank that the gas zombies produce can ignite too, which could be the fuel they need to get vehicles running. To test it, they use Neville to start a roller engine, and it works. Excited, they suit up and grab their weapons to bring the Hilux inside. Using meat as bait, they lure zombies away, hook the truck, and start firing. As bullets run low, they take on zombies hand to hand. During the fight, a zombie bites off Kel's nose. Frank hopes Kel won't turn and tries to protect him, but Benny knocks him down to be safe. Finally, they use Kel as a fuel source, modify the truck, and get ready to leave the workshop. Brooke opens her eyes and feels a strange link with a zombie nearby. Experimenting, she realizes she can control it with her mind. Just then, soldiers bring in 2 more zombies, and Brooke makes one of them kick a soldier, and then pick up a blade to stab himself. Furious, the soldiers beat down the zombie, but the surgeon steps in, breaking up the fight and exchanging heated words with the soldiers before they leave. Meanwhile, Barry and his group stop in the woods to refuel, noticing zombies nearby. Barry and Benny take down 2 zombies, while Frank uses a gas-powered harpoon to capture another, dragging it into a cage. Suddenly, Benny needs a bathroom break and insists Barry stop the truck. Ignoring Frank's suggestion to take a gun, Benny steps out, and as he's peeing, a zombie pops up from underground, barely missing him. He jumps back in the truck, but Barry realizes that the zombies have stopped producing gas. Frank explains they only generate gas during the day and use it to move faster at night. Suddenly, they notice zombies headed their way and jump into their truck, deciding to spend night there. As they wait in the truck, they start talking about what might have caused the apocalypse. Frank mentions Wyrmwood, referring to the biblical revelation where a star falls to Earth, bringing a disease that kills millions. He thinks last night's meteor shower might have been the beginning of the end. The group decides to rest, but Barry can't sleep. Closing his eyes only brings nightmares of killing his family. Overcome, he shoots at a zombie, accidentally setting the car's roof on fire. Knowing the fire could reach the compressor, Barry goes outside to put it out. He fights off zombies as he battles the flames, finally extinguishing them. As he returns to the truck, a zombie breaks through, biting Frank and breaking his hand. Frank begs Benny for the medical kit, but all Benny finds are beers. Accepting his fate, Frank shares a final drink with his friends and asks Barry to end it before he turns. Saddened, Barry grants Frank's last wish. The next morning, Barry and Benny notice that the zombies have started producing the gas and decide to start their truck. Along the way, they pay their respects to Kel and Frank, leaving only after ending Kel's suffering. Shortly after, they come across a soldier's truck. The soldiers inform Barry that the virus does not affect individuals with A-negative blood type. One of them tells Barry about their captain, who has a camp nearby, and invites Barry and his companion to join them since they need more survivors. Hearing Barry is headed to Bula Bula to locate his sister, the soldiers deceitfully claim they have her at the camp. One of the soldiers pretends to communicate with the captain and confirms Brooke's presence there. Although Barry is skeptical, he reluctantly agrees to follow their lead. Meanwhile, inside the camp, Brooke regains consciousness and uses her powers to compel a zombie to free himself using a concealed surgical blade. As the zombie breaks free, Brooke attempts to grab the surgeon's gun but inadvertently causes the zombie to awaken him. Startled, the surgeon quickly kills the zombie. The surgeon turns his attention to Brooke, and as her alarm suddenly blares, he threatens her while preparing a cannula to extract her serum. Brooke uses her abilities to buy some time by distracting him. Taking advantage of the moment, she connects with a nearby zombie and forces it to bite off the surgeon's finger. Panicked, the surgeon amputates his own hand. The surgeon approaches Brooke with a cutter, but it's too late. He transforms into a zombie. Brooke compels him to set her free and then kills him. She opens the back door, where Barry spots her. As the soldiers begin firing at them, Barry urges Brooke to leap onto their truck. He activates the nitro boost to make their escape, but despite his efforts, the soldiers manage to hit one of the fuel zombies powering the truck, forcing it to a stop after a while. As Benny points out that they need a zombie for their truck, Brooke uses her powers to summon one. Barry panics and prepares to shoot the zombie, but Brooke stops him. After confirming they want the zombie in the back of the truck, Brooke compels it to climb in, revealing to Barry that she can control zombies. Suddenly, Benny is shot as the soldiers arrive and open fire. The group manages to escape, but Brooke soon tends to Benny's wound and realizes it's severe. Despite his condition, Benny flirts with Brooke, and they share a light moment. Brooke then inquires about Annie and Megan, learning from Barry that they are dead. The group decides to stop the truck to address Benny's worsening condition. Benny begs them to leave him in the forest, but Barry refuses. As they discuss their next move, Brooke begins to feel unwell. Barry approaches and hugs her, offering comfort while admitting that he had to kill Annie and Megan. Distraught, Brooke demands Barry's gun, seemingly intending to take her own life. Before she can act, the soldiers catch up to them. Brooke manages to take down one of them before rushing away. Barry tries to confront the remaining soldiers but is subdued with rubber bullets. Later, Brooke summons more zombies to protect her brother, but the soldiers easily eliminate them. The captain captures Barry and uses him to force Brooke to surrender. The captain orders his men to prepare for Brooke's execution and to burn everything else. As the soldiers ready themselves, Brooke asks Benny for a matchbox, planning to set the compressor on fire to destroy everything. However, Benny has another idea. He suggests allowing himself to be bitten so Brooke can control him to retrieve a nearby gun. The soldiers drag Brooke to the execution area and prepare to behead her. At the last moment, Benny lets himself be bitten. Under Brooke's control, Benny breaks free and uses the gun to shoot down the captain's associate. Quickly reacting, the captain kills Benny. Enraged, Brooke and her zombies surround him. As Brooke demands his surrender, the captain shoots her down. He then turns his attention to Barry. Despite Barry's threats, the captain challenges him to a one-on-one fight. The captain proves to be highly skilled and quickly overpowers Barry. Desperate, Barry strikes him where it hurts the most, infuriating the captain, who then resorts to using his gun. Dragging Barry back, the captain fends off a zombie attempting to bite him, killing it in the process. Noticing blood smeared on the captain's face, Barry grabs a matchstick and sets his face on fire. Just as Barry is about to finish him off, Brooke and her zombie allies revive. Brooke uses the zombies to kill the captain, finally ending the confrontation. Afterward, Barry and Brooke come across another truck. When the soldiers inside attempt to deceive them, Brooke commands her zombies to attack, eliminating the threat, and the movie ends with that.